Yu-Gi-Oh! An incredibly complex card game with tens of thousands of cards. However, what if each set was separated from the rest of the massive card pool and your choices when building a deck were extremely limited? In this series, in order to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! From the ground up, I will be embarking on an adventure through the history of the card game with Jeexx. In each episode, we will have access to all the cards in a select product, and using only the cards in that product, both of us will build a deck before playing a best of 3 match to determine the winner of the episode. We will move in a chronological order in the series, and with each new episode, we will forget the cards of the past in order to experience something brand new. We hope you enjoyed this adventure through Yu-Gi-Oh! And its evolution with us. Welcome to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. And ladies and fellas, welcome back to Historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. It is good to be back. It's been over exactly a month. Actually, I think it's been exactly a month since we last recorded an episode. For y'all, it's been a couple weeks. But we are finally back, and we are back with a bang with Realm to Sea Emperor as well as Onslaught of the Fire Kings. And a little bit of breather has given me a chance to think about stuff, and these set breakdowns need to go down to a couple of minutes. So yeah, long are the days of talking about individual cards. Since we already do that in the deck breakdowns, I always say this, it always then falls back. But yeah, this time I'll actually just talk about the best cards in the set, or in this case, each structure deck, and then we'll move on and like the general idea. But Onslaught Emperor is definitely the worst one. This is the one that we're going to be piloting. It has Atlanteans, and it just overall a lot of like water synergy, stuff like Deep Sea Diva is obviously good in vacuum, but there's not much to do here. It has a good control package and stuff like Snowman Eater, Nightmare Penguin, Penguin Soldier, as well as some of the back row, as well as C, as well as Rabka. But overall, it's not great. We also have Legendary Ocean, which obviously, since it's always Umi, it's Umi as well. Terraforming, we have a way to get those on the board very consistently. Stuff like Dark Hole here as well, Lost Torrential Tribute, Gravity Bind. So you have a lot of like good control pieces, and that's kind of the thing that you need to do with this deck if you want to make it work, because stuff like Poseidra is not a very good boss monster. And then to Onslaught of the Fire Kings, which is probably for the time I think this is an incredibly good deck. And like Fire Kings overall, just as an archetype, and this deck, like it's just very consistent. Garonix, the big boss that just keeps coming back and nuking the board. Barong there to give you any Fire Kings that you need. Kirin is there to set up your graveyard. Stuff like Nephthys is even here if you need to deal with back row, Fire Dog to get stuff on the board as well. Stuff out of the what's space? Directly from the deck. Same thing with Onslaught. You can get Garonix immediately on the board. Even stuff like Rekindling is here. Circle of the Fire Kings is there to proc your own stuff. Duality for more consistency. Even stuff like Burden of the Mighty as well. And even like ways to deal with like back row that aren't just Nephthys, with stuff like Flammable Counter and Fiend's Wind Blast, and Call of the Haunted, as if they didn't have enough recursion already. I genuinely think like this is one of the best structure decks that we've seen thus far. It's just a complete package with like good punching power, good recursion, very consistent. It does a lot, and yeah, it's just very good. But that's the set, or sets in this case. Sorry, that was a bit all over the place. Obviously, not having recorded these for almost a month means that it'll take us a little bit to get back into the groove of things, but we'll be right back to it. But I'll just do this as the new formula for the set breakdowns. Obviously, since I had a little bit of processing here, it's a little bit longer, but the plan is to have these be just a couple minute sections, because talking about cards is fun, and we're going to be doing that in the deck building sections more. So yeah, the camera angle is a little bit different. I got a new monitor, so this should be the new regular camera angle going forward, but maybe I'll figure something out. But Hopefully you enjoyed these set breakdowns regardless, and I will see y'all in the deck building section next.
Okay, so we are back. It has been a few weeks at this point. I'm back from Germany. I beat Dawn Trail. I've cleared M1. We're almost clearing M2 now. Savage is pretty okay so far. Had a good time in Germany. Saw some sights, but that's besides the point. We're playing structure decks. We're playing specifically Realm of the Sea Emperor versus Fire King something or other. But out of these two, the only one that I've ever really played with is the Fire King structure deck. Like, in any regard. Like, I've never played the Atlantean cards that come in the Realm of the Sea Emperor deck because, frankly, they're kind of bad. I've played Fire Kings once or twice back in the day, but never, like, tried to build a functioning deck on my own. But to get started, we have Fire King Avatar Barong. Barong has the effect that all Fire King monsters, I'm pretty sure, double checking, except for Garunix apparently. Oh, well, I technically only have 2 of them in here. But these both share the effect of, if a face of Fire King monster you control is destroyed by a card effect, except during the damage step, you can spell summon this card from your hand. And once per turn, during the next standby phase after this card was destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Fire King card from your deck to your hand, except Fire King Barong. So the big thing about Fire Kings is that they like to be destroyed by card effects, regardless of whose card effects they are. Kieran has the same, summons itself if it sees a Fire King monster be destroyed, and then if it is special summoned, if it's destroyed in general and sent to the graveyard, I can send a fire monster from my deck to the graveyard. Then we have Fire King High Avatar Garunix, which is like the ace monster in this deck. Once per turn during the next standby phase after this card was destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, special summon this card from the graveyard. If you do, destroy all other monsters on the field. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can spell summon 1 Fire King monster from your deck, except Fire King Avatar Garunix. So these 3 cards are the stone of this entire deck, combined with a bunch of other cards that then facilitate you getting the good cards out and adding the good cards to your hand, such as Flammable Fire Dog, which is a card that we've seen pop up a few times, which is the effect of when it destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, special summon 1 fire monster from your deck with 200 or less attack, except Flammable Fire Dog. This is a really good card. Like, legitimately 1.9k attack for a fire monster that allows it to, like, imagine if Hydrogeddon was a 2k beat stick. Like, what the fuck were you thinking, Konami? To be fair, Hydrogeddon summons another Hydrogeddon, which summons another Hydrogeddon. Flammable Fire Dog summons another fire monster, which is like almost every other card in my deck. But yeah, then we have Pwn, which is when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 monster with 200 defense or less, 200 defense from your deck to your hand. So add Barong, add Karen, add Flammable Fire Dog. Pretty good. Nephthys is in here to counteract Gravity Bind, which is in the Realm of the Sea Emperor deck. Because that card, like, single-handedly can shut off my entire deck. So I have at least 3 cards, 4 cards in here, 5 cards actually, to deal with specifically that card. Nephthys being one of them. When it is destroyed by card effect, the next standby phase, it comes back and destroys all spell traps on the field. UFO Turtle, when this card is destroyed by battle into the graveyard, spell summon 1 fire monster with 1,500 or less attack from your deck, which is not that many cards actually. It's just Kirin and Pwn really, but it's still like, it summons itself, it fills out the grave, it can give you well, not rekilling targets, but it can give you targets or set up with the Fire Kings and keep them on the field, so on and so forth. Then we have Circle of the Fire Kings. Target 1 fire monster control and 1 fire monster in your graveyard. Destroy that monster control, and if you do, dispel summon that monster in your graveyard. You can only activate 1 Circle of the Fire Kings per turn. So, for example, let us say we have a Barong on the field and a Barong in the graveyard. We can pop the Barong on the field to summon the Barong in the graveyard, and then Barong in the graveyard activates its effect at the standby phase to add another Fire King to your hand. Let's say you have a Garunix on the field and a Barong in the graveyard. You pop the Garunix to summon the Barong, and then next standby phase, Garunix comes back, pops the Barong, and pops the field, and so on. This is like a really powerful card, especially because it's a quick play card, so you can use it as an interruption. Important note, both cards have to be in their places when the effect resolves, or else it fizzles out, and you don't get the monster. You can have the monster that you're trying to destroy be destroyed, but you can, if the card that If the destruction target gets removed, you don't get the special summon, of course. So that's important. It's important to keep in mind in case something happens in the set where, for example, the destruction target gets bounced. Hand destruction, each player sends 2 cards from their hand to the graveyard and then draws 2 cards. This is specifically to fill out the graveyard for stuff like Rekindling or Circle of the Fire Kings. Onslaught of the Fire Kings is a really, really strong card that is kind of surprising that it's 10 years old. If only your opponent controls a monster, special summon 1 Fire Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast from your deck, but its effects are negated and also destroyed during the end phase. Now you may be thinking, oh, but that's not very cool, that's not very interesting, it just dies at the end phase. I summon Garunix. Garunix dies, your turn, your field is gone. Oh, I summon Nephthys. Oh, Nephthys dies, I summon Nephthys, your spell traps are gone. It's pretty fucking good. It's honestly gonna be the thing that saves me against Gravity Bind if I end up playing against it. Pot of Duality, specifically just for consistency boost, even though it's not really gonna give me a lot of potential to play on the turn that I use it, but the stake is fairly slow. It's gonna take like 1 or 2 turns for me to actually do anything. Rekindling, special summon from your graveyard as many fire monsters as possible with 200 defense, but banish them during the end phase of this turn. You summon Barongs, Karens, Fire Dogs, and you just push your game or you pop them all with some other effect, like Grex, for example. I don't think you could, but if you could. And then you get all their effects. It's a fairly good finisher at the very least. Call the Haunted to have some recursion for the graveyard. Flammable counter. When a spell or trap card is activated, banish 1 fire monster with 200 defense from your graveyard and negate the activation. And if you do, destroy it. Horn of the Phantom Beast. Target 1 beast or beast warrior monster you control. Equip this card to that card, a target. So for example, Fire Dog suddenly gains 800 attack, and if it destroys a monster by battle, you draw a card. So this card is pretty good. This card is pretty fucking good. Phoenix Wing Windblast. Discard 1, target 1 card your opponent controls, place it on top of their deck. And then Regretful Rebirth. When a monster you control is destroyed by battle assisted the graveyard, target that monster and spell summon it in face-up defense position, but it is destroyed during your end phase. So, Nephthys gets destroyed by battle, summon it back, pop it in the end phase, it comes back next turn. Garunix gets popped in battle, you spell summon 1 Fire King from your deck, and then you use Regretful Rebirth, and then you get both. You get 2 of them, and then Garunix comes back in the standby phase and pops the field. Fun. And then the side deck has Goka the Pyro Malice. If you control a fire monster, you can spell summon this card from your hand, and then when you do, target 1 fire monster you control and destroy that target. So again, enables all the effects of the Fire Kings. During each of your standby phases, spell summon 1 Fireball token in defense position. You contribute 1 other fire monster, and this card gains 500 attack until the end phase. That's not a once per turn, by the way. So if you somehow amass many, like let's say you have Rekindling on the field, and you can only attack with Goka for some reason, you tribute every single card you summon with Rekindling, and boom. Then we have Royal Firestorm cards. I don't think I'm ever going to really be able to use this because it requires me to have 4 Pyro monsters in the graveyard, and at present I only have 3 others. I should probably switch this out. Nephthys again, creature swap for non-destruction removal. In case there is a situation where, for example, I could game my opponent by swapping a card that they have with a card that I have, I can do that. Hand destruction again, Rekindling, Flammable counter, Horn of the and then we have Spiritful Fire Art Kurenai. So this card is in here because of Gravity Bind, in case it comes down to, fuck, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna kill Weebfox through Gravity Bind. Oh, I know, I am gonna summon Garunix, and I'll tribute Garunix for Spiritful Fire Art Kurenai, and then I'm gonna use Circle of the Fire Kings to summon him back. And then I'm gonna let it pop his field, and I'm gonna use Kurenai next turn again, and then I'm gonna repeat this ad nauseum until I can somehow eke out a win by burning him for 8,400 damage. But that about, oh sorry, it's even more, it's 2.7k. Actually it's less. I thought for some reason that it was 2.8k, but it's 2.7k. So it would only be 8,100, which is still like, that's perfect. That's perfect. Let's go. Good. It's a little worse for wear because it's not 2.8k. I won't be able to do it with Nephthys, for example. Because if I could somehow use Nephthys for the last burn, it would work out better. But you know, That about does it. I think this deck is fairly powerful overall. Flammable Fire Dog with Horn of the Phantom Beast is a really good like combo in general. It's gonna give me a lot of consistency. Flammable Fire Dog is also a really good way of thinning my deck out. It's really big, it's really beefy. Weirfoot Turtle is the same thing. Barong is insanely good. Like legitimately, this card is insane. Arguably, it itself is a good target for Onslaught of the Fire Kings because it lets you filter out into Circle of the Fire Kings or another one of these, and then you have a card in the graveyard you can use for Flammable Counter, or get it back with Call of the Haunted, and then you can pop Call of the Haunted using Nephthys to get. There's so many things you can do with this deck, and I really, really feel like this is the first structure deck after Dragon. Like Dragon's Collide was really strong too. Like the 6 Sam starter didn't really let me show off anything that the deck could do because it was just a kind of a stomp. Like dad comes in, dad clears the field, I kill you. But with this, there's a lot of potential, and hopefully the match will be good. Anyhow, good luck with the games.
And guys, gals, here we are with the deck that we're going to be playing, and I'm going to be upfront with you. This is one of the worst decks I have ever built in the history of this series. So, let me give a little bit of context to this. Basically, I built this shell where I just threw everything like, these are stuff that I could maybe play in a little while back. And then when we were finally actually playing the episode, I revisited that and then was like, okay, what can I do with this? And the initial build was a super control heavy build. It had a legendary ocean alongside stuff like Snowman Eater, Nightmare Penguin, Penguin Soldier, Rabka, 3 Dark Hole, 3 Torrential Tribute, 3 Gravity Bind, and Tornado Wall. I think I also ran a Surface and Salvage. I should have kept that, but basically I had a build and then and then 3 Best Soldier. I had a build and I overrode it with this one because literally the only new cards that we had there, I think, were Tornado Wall and Abyss Soldier that we hadn't seen before. And now, obvious that this deck is a piece of shit. It's absolutely horrendous. It's awful, like I said. But I think, like, maybe this is gonna bite me in the ass in the episode. I mean, it probably will, and I'll just get blasted. But I just figured that it would be so much more boring. And even like when looking at the matchup, like stuff like Gravity Bind is really good against the Fire King's deck. But the problem is like Wing Blast, even Flammable Counter, Nephthys, like there was a decent amount of ways to deal with it. So ultimately I was just like, this is such a boring build with nothing new here. On top of the fact that Jeexx has actually decent ways to deal with it. So I was just like, let me just put together a 53 card jank garbage build and we'll just see how it goes. And let's go through the card by card and start with Poseidon, the Atlantean Dragon, which we have a second one in the side as well. This is the boss monster of the deck, 2800. You can tribute 3 level 3 or lower water monsters, spell summon this from your hand or grave. And when you do, you bounce back all spell traps on the field to hand. And if 3 or more cards return to the hand by this effect, your opponent's monsters lose attack permanently. It's okay. You can summon it from the grave, but in this deck, like getting 3 monsters on the field simultaneously is pretty unlikely. But it can happen. Then we're running some Atlanteans. We have our Atlantean Marksman. Inflict battle damage on your opponent. You can spell summon a level 4 or lower Atlantean from your deck, except Marksman. And then all the Atlanteans have the when discard center graveyard to activate one monster's effect. You can target a set card your opponent controls and destroy that target. And I think it works with Poseidra. I swear I looked it up. I already forgot. I think it works with Poseidra. Although this feels like a summoning condition. But it might work, it might not work. But mostly I see that it can summon something and then we can do stuff with that. And the thing we can summon with this Atlantean Heavy Infantry during your main phase, you can normal summon a level 4 or lower C-Separate type monster in addition to your normal summon or set. You can only gain this effect once per turn, and then as the same thing. 1600 defense, it's not great. It's mostly there where you can summon this infantry of marksman, and then you can use the extra someone of this to go into something like a breaker, diva, whatever, and then you'll have enough tributes for Poseidra. It's not super realistic, but it's cool if we can get Poseidra on the board like that, so that's why it's here. Speaking of, we have Lost Blue Breaker at 3 copies. If there's another phase of Fierce Season or Aqua on the field, you can tribute this card and then target a spell trap on the field to destroy it. We can get this all on the board with Diva, we can get this on the board with Marksman, we can summon it with Infantry. We have a decent time activating or getting it on the board. So obviously, structure deck episode, we don't have access to MST. There's stuff like Flammable Counter and other, like even Call of the Haunted, that we really want to be popping in Jeexx's deck. So this is great for that. Speaking of which, Deep Sea Diva, obviously we don't have an extra deck, unfortunately, so we can't synchro with this. I feel like this deck would be pretty nice if we could actually utilize Deep Sea Diva, but it's still a way to spell summon something from our deck if we can get it on the board. Even like summon something like Infantry Hard and then using the additional normal summon on Deep Sea Diva, then getting something that's already a way to get Poseidra without even using our battle phase like we need to do with Marksman. It's pretty decent. Obviously, it's super tiny by itself, so we better make some use of it and not just summon it and leave it there. And then we have Snowman Eater. It's a 1900 defense Man-Eater bug. Nightmare Penguin bounces 1 back on a flip. Penguin Soldier, bounces 2. We've seen all of these cards multiple times already. I don't need to talk about them. Wrap Cup is there to protect the Fish Brigade, what I'm going to call the Tri Brigade of Aqua stuff. Fish stays up in Aqua. You can banish this, negate the attack, and make the target lose 500 until the end of the next turn. It's battle protection. It's decent. It protects our stuff. It's nice. 1500 defense, obviously nothing to write home about, but we mostly do want it in the grave anyways. Then we have Call of the Atlanteans, 2 quick spells, or 2 copies of this. It's a quick spell where you target 3 level 3 or lower series of monster in your grave, spell summon all 3, and then you cannot spell summon any other monster during the turn you activate this card. It's meant to be used at the end of your opponent's turn, summon something, then your turn starts, you can actually get Poseidra on the board. Only 2, because getting 3 in the grave is a lot. All stuff is tiny and it's going to end up in the grave against Fire Kings a lot, but still, like getting 3, obviously we don't want to max out on this. Umi decided to play this instead of Legendary Ocean because we don't really care about the level stuff, and I just think it's funny to just take this, like, one of the earliest, if not the earliest, field spell in the entire game. Gives all Fish, Season of Thunder, and Aqua monsters 200 attack and defense, and all Machine and Pyro monsters lose 200 attack and defense. It's funny. And then 2 terraforming to get them on the board. Then we have a Water Hazard. It's a Valhalla for water monsters. Level 4 or lower water monsters, so you must control no monsters to freely spell summon a level 4 or lower water monster from your hand. Obviously nice. Once again, makes it easier for us to get 3 on board for Poseidra. Then we have Surface, where you target a level 3 or lower Fish, Sea Serpent, or Aqua monster in your graveyard to spell summon it in defense. Unfortunately, a normal spell card can't use this to protect us on Jeexx's turn, but we can still use this to set up if we need to use it for something like that, or we can just use it to get something back for Poseidra, get Infantry back to get an additional summon, get something like Blue Breaker if we need pops. It's decently flexible. More Greed, shuffle through 2 water monsters from your hand into the deck, then draw 3. Now we're running 24 monsters, which in a 53 card deck isn't the greatest, but I mean, bro, drawing 3, it's too enticing. Salvage, target 2 water monsters with 1500 or less attack in your graveyard, add those targets to your hand. Being able to reuse something like Penguin Soldier, Nightmare Penguin, Snowman Eater, obviously very good. This is why, like, this made the control build actually pretty good. 2 Torrential Tribute, could have maxed out on this, but I feel like 2 is going to be fine. Jeexx is going to be wanting to blow up the board anyways at all times, so yeah. 2 Aegis of the, or Aegis, Aegis? I'm going to call it Aegis. Aegis of the Ocean Dragon Lord. Until the end phase, face level 3 or lower water monster you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. We can do something cheeky with this in Torrential to on the blob Jeexx board, we can use this to protect ourselves to set up for Besidra or something else on the next turn. It's just fine. Tornado Wall, only if Umi on the field. While Umi is on the field, you take no battle damage, and if Umi is not on the field, you destroy this card. It's just a way for us to not take damage. It's pretty decent because it's something that Jeexx has to deal with. Because I don't think there is burn in the Fire King's deck, but I might be wrong. And finally, for our main deck, we have Poseidon Wave. When our opponent's monster declares an attack, you negate the attack and burn your opponent's pick and burn. 800 for each fish, sea serpent, or aqua type monster you control. We don't really have punching power, literally apart from Besidra, so this is a way for us to do some small increments of damage. And then for our side, we already talked about Besidra. We have 3 cutters, which you can send a Umi to the grave to pop up to 2 cards your opponent controls and send them to the grave. Very good. Abyss Soldier, 1800 attack, actually a decent beater. Once per you can discard a water monster to the grave to bounce a card on the field back to hand. Gillman just gives all fish, sea serpent, and aqua type monsters control 400 attack, and it's just a way to boost our tiny stuff up a little bit. Like Marksman now actually becomes a 1800 beater, which is decent. Dragoon's there if we want more Atlanteans. Only a level 3 or lower sea serpent monster can attack directly, and it has then the Atlantean effect. And a 3rd copy of Rebecca, and finally a single Aqua Jet, where it's essentially an... It's not... Okay, this is weird. I literally put this here because I just wanted to talk about it. So it's basically an equip, but it doesn't stay on the board. And instead you just target something, a fish, sea serpent, or aqua type monster you control, permanently give it 1,000, and then this just goes to the grave, and now that thing just permanently has 1,000. I just think it's funny that it's... I don't know. Because this is not a tiny attack boost. It's a pretty significant attack boost. And the fact that it's like permanent, even like not many equips give that much. Like obviously you have stuff like United We Stand and Mage Power that give more. But like something like Acts of Despair, obviously a much older card at this point. But that gave 1,000. That was like, whoa, 1,000 is a lot. And then you can just permanently give something 1,000 without, like, now your opponent has to just deal with it. I don't know. I just thought it was funny, and I wanted to talk about it. But yeah, like I said, I'm not expecting much. I think this is a shitfest, and maybe at the end of the episode I'll be talking about how I wish I went with the control build instead. But ultimately, I think, like, we're at the point where if we get to see something new, especially something that at least I don't think I'm ever going to play Atlanteans, I'm not too interested. I just figured that I want to show it off, so... Thank you for watching the deck breakdowns though, and it's good to be back. I'm excited to be playing some Yu-Gi-Oh again, so I'll see y'all in the dueling zone next. And what is up, ladies and lads, and welcome back to History Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning Journey. That feels so weird to say, because y'all, it's been a couple weeks. For us, it's been a whole ass month. So, Jeexx, you're reinvigorated from your trip. Hopefully it was great. And how are you feeling to be back to playing Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh, I gotta say, the fire is back in me. For once, I am back in the realm of the kings.
He hasn't
The
lost
emperors,
his
if you will.
touch.
I think I lost it way more. I had a way better segue for that, but the way that you like led me into this kind of made me be like, ah.
My bad,
Yeah.
but I set you up for
Nice.
failure. Well,
You set me up for failure, yeah.
Yeah, let's just blame it on me, you know. But
Like the original pun was gonna be, I am back in the realm of the kings. The fire is burning bright within me. I am ready to take it all and become the emperor or something.
all right, so now of course I'm going to cut the first one and put that there instead. Which
No.
spoiler, that will not be happening. 41 cards, interesting.
No, oh my milch.
But yeah, there is no.
Alrighty then.
I'll be honest.
Stand by.
This deck is ass that I built. We were talking a little bit before we started recording, and I'm gonna be playing bad because we haven't played the game in a month. But also, this is probably one of the worst decks I've ever built. So you know, getting the Johns out of the way now. Feel free to start your turn.
I will normal summon and I will set to and pass.
Alrighty then, I want to kill myself.
It's the dog. I got that dog in me.
Yeah, chat. You know, looking too hot.
It's okay, Chan.
Uh, I guess set 3 and best of luck game. Can I? Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, I forget that. Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Well, we'll do it
Fire dog
eventually.
is huge.
It's kind of a large fella, I won't lie.
The
Then
one
I would
to
like to normal
get thing to
summon
come out of
Barone.
fire dogs.
And then
Yeah, I'll be honest, that's too much damage. I'm gonna have to torrential.
okay.
Sucks because you get the surge,
Then
but I cannot
yeah,
afford to basically be
I'll
like monster or die next turn.
set one card and then I will pass. And during your standby phase, I would like to activate the effect of Barone because it
Yep.
was destroyed and sent
So
to the
go,
graveyard.
and
And I would
then I
like
will
to
go to my standby. So go ahead.
add to my hand.
Is it too early in the video to kill myself?
I think it might be.
All right.
Not 100% sure right now. It's a
Just making
Fire
sure. Just
King
making sure.
card. Yeah. Fair. I would like to add Onslaught of the Fire Kings to my hand, as it is a Fire King card rather than Fire King monster.
Ouch. Yeah, that's pretty good. Seems pretty good. If only our opponent controls a monster. Oh, I'm sorry to say that even if I wanted to control a monster, I don't think that's feasible for me right now. So,
My Milge.
who could have seen this coming? That if you make a deck with 53 cards and no great consistency stuff there, it's gonna be not great. Crazy.
I for one certainly did not expect something like this. I will admit. I would like to normal summon Barone
You're a bastard, but yeah, go ahead.
and go face with Barone.
Yeah, this time, unfortunately, I have nothing I can do about it, so.
Now, I would like to activate from my hand, from my field, Circle of the Fire Kings to target my Barone and a Barone in my graveyard. I would like to destroy the one on the field and special summon the other.
Yeah, that seems pretty good. I
Okay,
have nothing I can do about this.
Then I will special summon Barone. And then this goes to the graveyard, and I would like to attack again.
Yep,
For
nothing I can do there.
Then I go main phase 2, and in phase, pass.
Yeah, and in my standby phase, you get the
The Barong again. The Barong. I would like to add to my hand
There's no way.
a Kirin. Or do I want to add a? I mean, that doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll go with Kirin.
Bro. I swear I only have 2 of these in my deck. Well, go.
Bro. I would like to activate Pot of Duality.
Go right ahead.
Banish top 3, and I would like to add to my hand one of the cards in my top 3. I will add the card Regretful Rebirth and put the other 2.
Wait, what was it? What was it? Destroy battle and send to grave. Something. Target monsters put on my face. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh yeah, it basically just makes destroy by battle instead be destroyed by a card effect.
Yes.
And I mean, obviously.
And I can also stall further.
Yeah, that seems actually like a pretty good card.
Then I would like to normal summon Fire King Avatar Kirin.
Yep.
Attack.
Yep. 2800.
And then I will set one card and
Oh, that's funny. I mean, honestly, at this point, fuck it, why not? I'll just do this because it's easier. I'll activate Ray of Greed, and I will shuffle
Okay.
back heavy infantry and heavy infantry.
Yeah.
In order to draw 3, and there is no way, man. Life could be a dream. I could fucking hate everything. Shaboom bop bop beep Buddha. Hey, life could be a dream. If only I could kill myself. Let me normal summon the greatest warrior of all, Atlantean marksman. Is that okay?
No way!
The unmatched fishman. Is that okay?
Yeah. That is okay.
Pew.
Then when Skirin is destroyed.
Yep.
Actually,
You
can I
get
even?
to
No, I can.
send a thing, and I get the special.
Listen to graveyard. I would like to activate Regretful Rebirth first.
Yep.
And then you can activate yours.
Yep. I would like to get.
And then mine activates at Chain Link 3. So
Yeah.
I will send first, and you summon, and then I special.
Yeah. What would you like to send?
I would like to send to my graveyard Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys.
Yep.
And then I would like to special summon Fire King Avatar Kirin back in defense once you've summoned yours.
Yeah, I'll grab my. I'll just grab another marksman, I think.
Yep.
And 400 points of damage, which is very powerful.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
And then, Nephthys in the grave is scary. I mean, if I don't, then literally any monster is a kill. I think I will have to swing over the Kirin because you get any other monster and I'm guaranteed dead. Probably you have something,
friendly...
but at least like this, we'll have 3 cards.
Kirin would have got destroyed by its own effect.
Oh yeah, it was the rebirth anyway. Yeah, this is fair.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this
so it
the swing doesn't really matter, but it's whatever.
I would like to send it to the graveyard. Animal Fire Dog.
Another dog.
I got that dog in me.
Yeah, this. I'm looking in your grave and I'm just seeing 4 monsters with 200 defense. I'm just dreading it. I don't remember if the deck had rekindling, but I guess we just pray that it doesn't. And yeah, I guess we'll. Does it even matter? I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll set 1. We'll set. It doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll just set 1 and pass.
I would like to activate rekindling.
Brother.
Is this okay?
Okay, mental math.
It's July.
Fucking way too much. Yeah, go right ahead.
I special summon Fire Dog. Fire Dog, Kieran, and Barone. Torrential Tribute, that's fine.
Yeah.
Actually, no, wait, I'm stupid.
Oh, you have
Why would I
something?
let you do it? Oh, actually, no, I don't. Never mind. I don't have anything.
Okay.
For war. Well,
You do get a
then
Curious and 2 Barones. Because
I
what are
will
hard ones per turn? If you have a
send...
second rekindling, I'm gonna be pissed.
Not yet. I'm afraid not yet. I will send.
At least now I know. Okay,
a...
the rekindling is in the deck.
It is. It is in fact.
That's good to know. Will I do anything with the information? Most likely not, but at least I now know.
I will send Flammable Poem to the graveyard. Oh, graveyard, not hand. Graveyard. And also rekindling those great. Then I pass. And I get
Yep.
2 searches.
2 searches. And
I
this
get...
hand is piss. Swag.
I would like to add
Big
a
fan.
Circle of the Fire Kings and a Barone.
Yep.
Oh, I can't search Barone. My bad.
Oh, is
Just
it
to make sure.
accept? Oh,
Yeah,
it's accept.
Then I will just add to my hand a Kirin.
Yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong, but the cards that I know in your hand are Kirin, Circle, and the card that basically said like if I have a monster, you get a special monster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know the other 2. God, this fucking sucks. But I think I'm in a situation where I can't really because Kirin doesn't kill me, but anything else just kills me. 2 fire dogs are gone. I think I need to try to do something here. So I'll surface to get myself a 0 defense marksman on the board. And I will do the same thing again to get another 0 defense marksman on the board.
Okay.
And that is all I can do.
Standby main. I would like to activate Onslaught of the Fire Kings. And I would like to special summon 1 Fire Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast from my deck. I would like to summon Garunix. And its effects are negated.
Yeah,
and also destroyed during the end phase.
Destroyed. Yeah, so it still gets summoned back, which is annoying. But for now, it's just a big dumb beater.
And then I would like to normal summon Flammable Fire Dog.
Yeah.
Then battle phase.
Yep.
Attack into Atlantean Marksman.
I'll have to pop this here, because
I will pop this here.
Ooh. Yep.
Banish Fire Dog. And negate your Aegis of the Ocean Dragon Lord.
Yep. Seems pretty good, so...
Attack continues.
Yeah, nothing here really matters, but I guess I'll do this. I'll see 1 more card to maybe confirm something, but yeah, nothing really matters.
I'll summon Baron.
Yeah. And then I'm just dead
into...
on board.
Yeah.
Bro, I just... Damn. Yeah, we definitely need to make some changes and see if we can salvage this thing. But yeah, that sure was a game. Let's go set for game 2. Right, let's see if we can salvage some of the absolute train wreck that has been the set thus far. And I mean, I guess this is better. Sure. All right. Let us start with a set. And I think actually that's gonna be all for me.
Gonna normal summon. Gonna attack into the penguin soldier.
You got it. It sure is a penguin soldier.
Yeah.
I'll bounce it back to your hand.
And then Flammable Fire Dog to summon another monster that isn't Flammable Fire Dog. I will summon.
God, that's tragic. I'm so sad.
Barone.
Yep.
And then attack again.
Oh, I'm so sad.
Then I will set 2 and pass.
Oh, that's tragic. That is.
I don't know. Wait, does that even work?
Just do anything? I don't think it does. It definitely does nothing. Yep, I'll just set another and pass.
Swing.
I'm so fucking sad because I was pondering whether to set this or the penguin soldier turn 1, and imagine if I instead set this thing.
No.
I literally
That's
first was
so
going to set the
sad.
snowman eater, and I'm like, penguin soldier is better against everything that isn't flammable fire dog. I don't want you to just normal summon Barong and then get that, but well, here we
I'm gonna
are.
ask you, are you gonna pop Barong or are you gonna pop Snowman Eater?
I still think I'm gonna pop Barong.
Okay, that is.
It'll take you 100 points of damage. Because let's be real, that's the increments that I'm gonna be dealing damage here.
Unfortunately.
But yeah, that ordering makes me sad. Because then I could have set penguin soldier. I could have bounced my own snowman eater. You know, your thing. It could have been beautiful.
It could have been glorious. I'll set 1 card and pass. And at the start of your standby phase, I add a card
you
to
get
my hand.
your search.
And the search shall be what in this case? I think it shall be a Circle of the Fire Kings.
Circle of the Fire Kings. Seems pretty good. Honestly, what would you set other than Flammable Pound? I don't think anything else. But I already forgot what was Pound's effect. Flammable Pound. It destroyed by battle. It sent like a 200, or did it summon? It was one of those 2 things. You add it to your hand. Okay. God, that's annoying. But generally, would you set anything else? Because I literally don't think so. Because it's actually, I guess, Kieran. It's Kieran is Pound.
I just double checked that, and apparently Fire Dog cannot resolve its effect if it's no longer on the field, even though it is activated.
Oh, so it like couldn't resolve the search?
Yeah, Barong wouldn't be on the field.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
but
whatever.
we're so far beyond that now.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's whatever. I guess we'll see. I'll normal summon a Lost Blue Breaker.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're gonna get it there one way or another, so we'll punch into the pawn or Kieran, yeah.
It's the pawn. And with the pawn, I would like to add to my hand a Barone.
Yep, seems pretty good. Me too. Honestly, I think I'll just blindly send it. Let's pop this thing.
I will respond with Call of the Haunted, targeting Barone.
Yep, and then it just immediately pop.
Then those, and then standby phase, I get another Barone card.
Yep.
I add 1 into my hand.
I guess I Probably there are none. I don't think there are gonna be any. Do I care? I don't think. There's no way there's any. Yeah, I don't think I care. I'm just gonna end my turn.
Standby and standby phase. I add to my hand another Fire King card, and that shall be
The deck has the field voids, the
an
deck has the
Onslaught of the Fire
consistency, the deck
Kings.
has the searches. Bro, what do I have? Torrential Tribute?
I
Torrential
I'll
Tribute
activate
appliances?
Onslaught of the Fire Kings to special summon a Garunix from my deck.
Yep.
Then I will normal summon a Barone.
Yep.
And then I will go into combat and swing over this with Garunix, and then attack using Barone.
Yep.
Yes. And then I set one card, set two cards. End phase, Garunix dies from the effect of Onslaught, and then it comes back at the beginning of your standby phase and destroys all monsters on the field.
Yep. And
Or
then
other monsters
during
on the field.
your standby, you get the search.
Exactly.
Is there anything I really can do here? I don't think so, honestly. I mean, let's start with a salvage. And I guess I'll add
You know what you gotta do.
Kingdom Soldier and Snowman Eater.
Waste as fuck.
And now the question is, what is the question? You're getting the search. This thing is absolutely massive. I guess that does something, but it doesn't do enough. Yeah, I guess let's start with this. I'll send back. This is what's awkward. I mean, definitely this Deep Sea Diva, because that doesn't do anything. And I guess we'll send the Snowman Eater.
Okay.
And let's.
This is where you reveal that you actually had 3 copies of Snowman Eater in your hand the whole time.
That would be very funny. I will say that much. But unfortunately, I don't think that's the case. Does that do anything? I don't think it really does. I mean, we finally found it, so just for the shits and giggles, I guess let's fire off a Umi. So we at least get to see it. Then I'm going to set.
Wait, but you have Legendary Ocean in the deck.
Shut up.
Yeah, you have a Legendary Ocean, not Umi.
Shut up.
Yeah. Realm of the Sea Emperor structure deck. Realm of the Legendary Ocean. They're the same card because they're both Umi.
Because
A
everything
Legendary
is
Ocean
called
has an
Umi.
effect.
Because, you know.
Yes.
I love card games. And does this
But basically the effect of a Legendary Ocean is simply all of your water monsters have 1 less level on hand and field, and you gain 200 attack for all water monsters.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
It's essentially you get the benefit of being able to tribune summon Daedalus and whatever the other thing was in the deck where those things came out, but you lose out on the pyro
And the machine
reduction. Yeah, I mean the machine reduction is really relevant here, but let's just say there are a lot of things that aren't really relevant here. But yeah, I will end my turn on that.
In your end phase, I would like to activate Circle of the Fire Kings to pop my Garunix and special summon the Barone that has yet to be activated. Okay. Boom. And boom.
Yep.
And then start a turn. Standby phase. I would like to activate Barone and then Garunix to special summon Garunix and search with Barone. And actually double checking. If you do, it's an if effect, so
Yeah.
it doesn't miss timing, and it's mandatory if effect too.
Yep.
So it cannot miss timing in this case.
This is
I
why I
would
was
like
kind of like, I was
to.
thinking like, okay, do I set the penguin or do I set the other thing? But I was like, it doesn't really matter because you had the
Yeah,
circle, so
yeah.
that doesn't really
That's
matter.
I had set a circle of the Fire Kings, thinking, well, Garunix is gonna be in the graveyard, and Garunix is gonna be on the field, so I can use it as material for Circle of the Fire Kings.
Yeah.
And that worked out. I would like to then normal summon Flamwell Fire Dog, and I
Yep.
would like to attack, and I would
Let's
like to
see if you
attack.
have something for this. I'll flip up Tornado Wall.
I would like to activate Flamwell Counter,
Well, there you
banishing Flamwell
go.
opponent.
He just has everything. Am I just dead? I think I'm. Yeah, I'm just dead.
Yes.
Yeah, that it's. I mean, this was never a competition, but it's still a kind of funny how fast that was. Would you say this was like the biggest mismatch that we had with structure decks thus far? Because I think it's definitely up there.
No, we definitely had a worse one.
Which
Don't
one?
never forget the dragon deck versus the fucking banish deck where you don't have a graveyard.
Yeah,
On the dragon
I
deck
guess
that
that is
specifically
because
needs
it's like
cards.
it just feels like I feel like that's the same where it's like there's just one thing counters the other. Here I just feel like it's like okay, I have a torrential tribute that does something and that's it, and you have recursion every turn that also nukes the field, that also searches your things, and also you have other ways to search things and send things to the grave. So yeah, it's
So the version of the deck that I built
mm-hmm.
specifically revolves around you're not getting effects on. You're not getting to attack. You're not getting to do things.
I was
The only cards in this entire deck that are capable of dealing with gravity bind
gonna say
are this.
I literally the first version that I initially had was like, okay, let me throw literally all the annoying floodgate and control effects in here, but that I don't know that deck felt like kind of plain. So I like just like, let me try to see if I can do something with the Atlanteans.
I actually I also there's one more card that can deal with that gravity bind.
Yeah,
But
Nephthys.
like yeah, like Nephthys into Onslaught into Nephthys is the best way of dealing with gravity bind.
Mm-hmm.
And with these other two being like, well, I have to have an out
Yeah.
for Gravity Bind. Because Gravity Bind was the card that made me go like, oh fuck, I have nothing to deal with this. That's like when you were in stream yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
when I was building this deck, I literally had a moment where I was like, oh fuck, oh shit, how do I guess I'll put 3 Phoenix Wing Bastion. And then I realized that's not gonna be enough. So I put more Flammable counters in. And then I realized Nephthys is in. And then I put Nephthys in, and now
Yeah.
I had an actual counter to the one strategy that could completely shut me out.
Yeah, I think my
So
thought process with that was because it's been a while because the I explained this before think before we started recording, but I basically like just had like a couple days ago before, from the time of recording this, a couple days ago I literally just went like okay, because usually I have like some prototypes or something that for a deck, and then I'm literally like okay, what do I have here? I went, I looked, it was 57 cards off complete dog shit. I was just like, all right, how do we salvage this? This stuff for like 15 to 20 minutes, and I basically was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go in with a pile of garbage and we'll see what happens. But I think that initially, like way back when I because before that pile of garbage of just throwing in, oh, this card's could maybe do something. The like very first thing that was like probably the obvious build was like it had Penguin Soldier, it had Snowman Eater, it had Nightmare Penguin, and I don't remember. Did I have? Oh yeah, then I had the fucking fish thing. Where is it? Rabka. I had these, and then I think that was all my monsters. I'm not sure if I had any of Lost Blue Breakers. I might have had those, but I want to say like those were the ones that I had, and then it was literally just torrential tributes and gravity binds and basically everything that, okay, what can I do to stall the game? What can I do to control shit? But obviously it was a pretty plain build, and most of the stuff there, like we had already seen, and there was like it was really leaning much into the structure deck. And then after I had that, and I also like looked through the Fire King structure deck, and obviously like I said multiple times today, I literally didn't remember that Rekindling was in. I didn't remember much that was in there, but I'm pretty sure that when I looked through it, and I was like, there's a decent amount of stuff to out Gravity Bind. So it was kind of like, okay, this build already seems kind of boring, and then on top of that is it's like, okay, there is stuff like Nephthys, there is stuff like Wing Blast, there is even stuff like Flammable Counter to deal with Gravity Bind. So I think like it was the combination of like, this seems kind of plain and boring, with the, okay, there's actually a okay amount of ways to deal with this, that made me go like, I don't think I want to play this.
I think that's fair. Like, I would have most likely ended up leaning into that purely because of the fact that the idea of slowing down the game and controlling it with using Penguin Soldier, Nightmare Penguin is fantastic, and I love that.
Yeah, we
Like,
definitely haven't seen those cards enough.
never. You've never seen Penguin Soldier be played, okay? Come
We
on, man.
and we definitely won't see him still. It's pretty funny how we've gone. What was it? It was the Joey structure deck?
Yeah.
Or starter
Joey
deck,
versus
sorry.
Pegasus.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was the starters where that first came out, and now like in, I think we're in 2013 right now, like the earlier half of 2013 in the timeline. And Penguin
I think so,
Soldier is
yeah.
still like, it's still a pretty good card.
Yeah, like
Obviously,
it still has the potential of just entirely upsetting a game, even if this was an actual game with actual XYZ monsters or
yeah,
even synchro monsters. Because it's you bounce an XYZ monster and it's -3.
yeah.
Suddenly your opponent just sits there fucking lamenting their life. And if it's a synchro monster, it's arguably even worse because it's super hard to get into those at this point.
Yeah, it's that's another thing which was like Deep Sea Diva was a pretty feels bad card. It was mostly here a lot, I think, for like, okay, I it's a way for me to thin out my deck a little bit, but mostly it was there like, okay, this realistically, like I will most likely need Deep Sea Diva in order to go into Poseidra if I want to get that out, which even that's not great, but it's like, okay, if I get it out, then I mean, hey, that's pretty cool. It's also, I think it's funny that the Atlanteans have the effect where when they're sent to the grave attacked with Water Monsters fact, they do something. But I don't think there
Yeah.
was anything in the structure that actually activated those. Because even like something like
No.
Poseidra, which has the attribute, it's like, okay, but it's a summoning condition, so I don't think it procs it, right? The Poseidra, you
Uh,
contribute 3 to spell summons from your hand. It doesn't
yeah,
work on
it's
those,
a
right?
cost. It's not the
Yeah,
effect.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not an
That's
effect.
what I figured. Because I was a little bit unsure because I was like, I mean, it would make sense because it specifically the Atlantean dragon and all the Atlanteans have this effect, at least in this structure deck. I'm not super familiar with Atlanteans. They're
Double
like
check.
the water stuff that just focuses on swarming or something. I don't really know what the archetype really does, but it just was like I could see it working because otherwise, what's the point of the effect? But I guess it's one of those classic Konami. Whoops. We'll fix it in post. Moments.
Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe it does count, but I'm not because it's a win effect. That's also important. So
Need you.
if it doesn't start a new chain, you wolf is
Work with.
because you use these
Oh, I
cards with
what?
mermaids.
Oh, I saw a purple thing. I see a Reddit thread where apparently beans. So I guess I checked this when I was initially building. Is there a way? It doesn't work with Atlantis Origin. Proceed with Atlantis Dragons. This effect can activate their effect. It has the semicolons. It is a summoning condition. It's an ignition effect. Atlantis don't work with summoning condition, and as it doesn't necessarily activate one monster's effect, other cards they work with are Abyss Soldier, Merville, Abyss Megalo, Gungnir, Broniac, Genex Undyne. So, huh.
So
So
it's
it
meant to be used with
works,
mermaids.
I guess, but I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's so fucking weird. It is strange as hell.
Classic Yu-Gi-Oh! With like, oh, this thing that clearly is meant to work with this, and we have to, okay, but we still have to question and see, like, I have no idea if it works. So let's look at the semicolons to find out.
I mean, it does have the semicolon
Yeah,
before
it
the
does.
effect, which would imply like if it was as you contribute level three lower or lower water monsters and spells on the scuff in your hand without the semicolon, then it would not be like effect. It would just be a summoning condition. It would just fulfill the summoning condition,
Yeah.
and then you wouldn't even be able to chain to it. Because you know what the worst part is about this card?
Mm-hmm.
If you pop this, like if you activate the effect by attributing level three or lower water monsters, you can just get solemned and it doesn't come out,
Yeah. It's
which fucking
it's pretty
hurts.
funny that you can just go -4 into Solemn.
Yeah. Pain.
But yeah,
Although you can summon this from the graveyard, which is
yeah,
fairly
it's I think I had a second one in my side, but I was just running one because, like, if it comes up, it's whatever. I'm most likely not gonna get it on the field. If I get it on the field, then it's just gonna then keep coming back if I get this stuff for it. So it's like, if it does something, then hey, cool. But if it doesn't, then hey, it is what it is. But yeah, that sure was a way to come back. I'm just gonna cope.
I love Yu-Gi-Oh.
We love Yu-Gi-Oh! And so yeah, a couple of weeks of no uploads, but the finale for Duel Terminal was absolutely massive. Hope y'all had fun with that. I think it was good fun with all the shenanigans, and now hopefully we'll be back to the weekly stuff, which resumes next week with Lord of Tachyon Galaxy alongside Astral Pack 2. So, yeah, I think we're going to be seeing some dragons next week. Are you looking forward to our Dragon Ruler mirror, or are you going to do something else?
I'm gonna be playing my doll chase next week, fellas.
Oh.
We're gonna look at the cute kawaii anime girls going up against the dragon rulers. Or
Screw
maybe
the
I'll just
anime girls. Let's get cool dragons. Until they, like 5 years later realize, wait a minute, we can do both, and release one of the greatest archetypes to ever grace Yu-Gi-Oh! In Dragon Mages. It's peak. It truly is just peak. But yeah, so Lord of Tachyon Galaxy alongside Astral Pack 2 next week. And now it's on tape that I've said that it's also Astral Pack 2, so I'm relieved of all the responsibilities of reminding you. So if you forget, I can just say repose or something. I don't even know what's in there. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Good to be back. Good to be playing this godforsaken card game again. And hopefully next week won't be such a blowout, or if it will be, then hopefully it'll be the other side. But
hold up.
my bladder is about to explode, so you have any parting words before we get out of here, Jeexx?
No.
All right, well, thank you for watching, y'all. It's good to be back, and the bliss y'all had when we were gone is done, and it's back to playing some card games. So have a good one, y'all, and we'll catch you next week for Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. Peace.